All right, let's talk about one of the biggest and honestly most stressful parts of the surrogacy journey, the money. Specifically, we're going to dive into a decision that can make or break your experience. When you pay that huge agency fee. It sounds like a small detail, but believe me, it can change absolutely everything.
So, what's one of the biggest financial hurdles for intended parents? You might think it's the total cost, but it's not just that. It's the timing. It's that gut-wrenching feeling of writing a massive check for tens of thousands of dollars, way before you even know if things are on the right track. That's where so much of the anxiety comes from.
You know, this single decision really sets the tone for the entire journey. We hear it all the time. Families often report feeling trapped. And that's a powerful word, right? They feel trapped because they've made this huge, non-refundable payment, and now they're locked in, no matter what curveballs come their way.
And that's exactly why this first step can feel like such a gamble. You're putting really high stakes on the table right from the get-go, committing to a process that, let's be honest, is filled with all sorts of unknowns.
I mean, to put it into perspective, some agencies ask for that huge payment just to put you on a waiting list. Can you imagine? Paying all that money and then sitting around for maybe a year before you even see a single surrogate profile. It's a massive leap of faith.
Okay, so let's break down the traditional industry approach. It's usually called the pay-it-match model. This is how most agencies have done it for years, and you've got to understand how it works to see the potential risks.
The order of operations here is absolutely critical. So first, the exciting part, you get matched with a surrogate. Then almost right away, boom, you have to pay a massive agency fee. It's only after that money is gone that you get to the really vital stuff, like the medical and psychological screenings.
And this is where the gamble really comes into play. There is absolutely no guarantee your surrogate is going to pass her screenings. And if she doesn't, well, now you're facing delays, the stress of a rematch, and your non-refundable fee is already locked in with the agency. This is what creates that feeling of being trapped.
But what if there was another way, a different approach? Some agencies are now flipping this entire process on its head, specifically to get rid of these risks. Let's see how a different model can create a totally different kind of journey.
So here it is, plain and simple. With the old model, you pay before you even know if your surrogate is medically cleared. It's a huge leap of faith. But with this alternative model, you only pay the agency fee after your surrogate has successfully passed all of her screenings. The reduction in your upfront risk is just enormous.
Let's just break this down. With a post-screening model, the fees are due way later, which obviously massively reduces your upfront financial risk. This gives you an incredible amount of flexibility because you're not locked in. Now compare that to the at-match model. The risk is higher, the payment is way earlier, and your flexibility is pretty much gone. It creates a completely different emotional starting point for your journey.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But I know what you're thinking. How does this actually work in the real world? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and tackle those big what-if questions that every parent has.
This is probably the #1 fear. You've gotten your hopes up, you've connected with a surrogate you really like, and then she doesn't pass her screening. What happens then? Is everything lost?
And the answer in this model is so simple, but so powerful. The agency just starts working on a rematch for you right away. And you owe absolutely zero in agency fees for that first match that didn't work out. The financial penalty is just gone.
Okay, here's another huge one that's all about flexibility. What if, during that matching process, you just get a bad feeling? You're not vibing with the agency and it just doesn't feel right. Are you stuck?
And the answer is just so empowering. Because you haven't shelled out that huge, non-refundable fee, you have the total freedom to pause your journey or even switch agencies entirely without taking a major financial hit. It puts the control right back where it belongs, with you. Now, to be super clear, this doesn't mean everything is free up to this point. You, the intended parents, are still responsible for the direct costs of the screenings. But here's the key. That money goes directly to the fertility clinic, to the psychologist. It's not going into the agency's pocket as a fee.
So you might be asking yourself, why on earth would an agency do this? I mean, from a business standpoint, it sounds kind of risky for them, right? Well, the why goes a lot deeper than just the money. It's really rooted in a philosophy of putting values over revenue. It all comes down to this idea of a client-first policy. And really, what that means is that the whole business is designed to put your peace of mind and your flexibility first. The priority isn't to lock down revenue as early as possible, it's to make sure you feel secure.
So the goals of an approach like this are pretty clear. It's about earning your trust before they earn a fee.
It's about being totally transparent so you always know what's going on. The number one priority is helping you build your family, not just completing a business transaction.
And really, this quote just sums up the entire philosophy perfectly. It's a powerful statement that totally reframes the relationship, making it clear that the whole process is about one thing: creating a healthy, happy family.
So at the end of the day, it all boils down to one fundamental question. When you're about to start one of the most important journeys of your entire life, what should be the foundation? Should it be a binding financial contract that locks you in, or should it be a relationship that's built on mutual trust? That's a question every hopeful parent really deserves to think about.